welcome back again, crime fighters. It's time for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place for all of us and our families. I'm Chris Wright, your host, along with Calhoun County Chief Deputy Matthew Wade. Good to see you, Matthew.
Hey, good to be back for another week, Chris. You know, it's always good to get on the show and talk about the good things that's going on. And as always, we've never been let down, and we have 2 arrests this week.
Another couple of arrests. So what does that bring the total to?
3,598 people put in jail, all because somebody got involved.
Yeah, we were just talking about how long we've been doing this show off the air, and I was thinking, well, here in just a couple of months, it'll be our 12-year anniversary.
12 years, you know, and 3,598 people put in jail because of it, and we've done a lot of good things with it, and I'm really glad that you've done that and helped volunteer with us.
It's been a lot of fun. All right.
Good.
Now, let's talk briefly about the weather. Now, this is Severe Weather Awareness Week in the state of Alabama, and severe weather is a big impact on the sheriff's office. Obviously, you're trying to protect everybody, keep everybody safe, not only from criminals, but other dangers as well. And when severe weather strikes, it's very important that everybody do what they're supposed to do.
Absolutely. You know, severe weather, snowstorms, tornadoes, we go into an emergency action plan. We have an idea of what we're going to do. People get called in, they're on standby, and especially when it snows, you know, people just try to push their luck when an officer is telling you can't go that way, and you go, well, I'm going to go that way anyway. Normally there's a bad result, and people get hurt that way, and you know, there's a big confusion about road closings, whether it's going to be closed, and I can do a whole TV show on whether or not a road is closed or not, but the overall goal is for people to have common sense, where if it's bad weather, if it's snowing, if the roads are icy, if it's going to be tornadoes, go ahead and protect yourself. Don't wait on the government to tell you if something's going to be okay or not.
And regardless of the weather, there are always going to be emergencies that need your help. And if you're responding to somebody who got themselves into some trouble that they didn't have to, they just made a poor decision that got them there, then you're not as able to respond to somebody else who's maybe just having a heart attack while they're sitting in their house doing what they're supposed to do, but you're having to deal with these people who have blocked the roads, or you're trying to get them out. It's just...
You know, Christmas night this year, we had some flooding. Cars got flooded. I was actually personally waist deep in water, trying to get them out, hooking to them, and we had patrol cars on both ends of the road with their blue lights on. We actually had 2 people who went around the blue lights, the deputies hitting the siren, they go out in the middle, guess what happens?
They flooded.
They flood. One of them had kids in the car. I said, why did you do that? I'm out here waist deep in water on Christmas night, it's cold. I'm going, why did you do that? Well, I'm just trying to get home. Well, all you have to do is go a mile down the road. Don't ever pass a emergency vehicle with its lights on.
You'd kind of like to go home too, wouldn't you?
I would like to go home. You know, it's Christmas night and I'm wet, and you know, they're just going around emergency vehicles. You know, people see law enforcement a lot of times as people that's always telling you no or doing something you don't like, but we really have your best interest at heart. And when you see those patrol cars, those lights, slow down. They're on for a reason. They're there for a reason, even though you might think you know better or you've done this 100 times. If you go do something and put your life on, you know, you do something like those 2 people did, somebody else had to put their life on the line to try to get them out of the emergency situation, and that's just not fair.
So pay attention to those watches and warnings and do what you're supposed to do, okay? All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're supposed to tell you about some wanted individuals, and we will do that in just a few moments when we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wash my camo so I'm ready for hunting season.
Get that stuff out of my washer. You should take it to a laundromat.
There isn't any good laundries around here.
Sure there is. Washington Aniston Coin Laundry on Quintard across from Walgreens and beside the Social Security office.
They have a washer that can handle a real man's jacket?
They have the biggest washers and dryers around, and you can get all your stuff finished within an hour.
Awesome. I'm headed to Washington Aniston Coin Laundry at 829 Quintard, and then I can take the rest of the day to get my other gear ready.
Or maybe you can finish the yard work.
Yeah, right after I sight my bow.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston Stroud with Family Links, and this is the Family Tip of the Week. Recently, I had a parent tell me that when her son was 3 years old, she carried him to the car every morning with bare feet, in the freezing cold, in the rain, in the snow. Before this started, putting on shoes to leave the house was a screaming battle. One morning she thought, why am I fighting this? She scooped up her barefoot son and walked out the front door, and he stopped crying. When they got to daycare, the socks and shoes went on, no problem. This was a huge lesson for her. Letting go of one thing made their lives much easier. Parents, are there behaviors, as annoying and frustrating as they may be, that you can choose to ignore? Allowing your child to get away with behavior you don't like can feel like failure, but as a parent, remember this: you don't have to fix everything, and parenting is not about perfection. If the list of behaviors you want to fix feels overwhelming, it can be very freeing to let go of a few issues. This allows you to concentrate on giving consequences for the big stuff. Giving fewer consequences makes them more effective. I encourage you to take a step back and think about what would happen if you chose to ignore certain behaviors. Here are some questions to think about. What would happen if you ignored this behavior? Do you need to focus on this? Where else could you spend this energy? If the neighbor's child were doing this, how would you feel? And when you find yourself wanting to correct every concerning behavior, no matter the size, take a moment to prioritize. You will be effective when you concentrate on the most important issues. The others, take a deep breath, and for now, let go. Remember, if you're seeking perfection as a parent, that's not realistic. But if you're aiming to be a better mom or dad, that's really good enough. For more family tips, please call Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And here's the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We're going to begin with Chris Mayfield of Alexandria. He's wanted on a probation revocation for attempting to elude. Justice King of Anniston wanted for failure to appear for breaking and entering a vehicle, and also failure to appear for obstructing justice using a false ID. Jessica Hyde from Piedmont wanted for failure to appear for 2 counts of possession and receipt of a controlled substance. Robert Sailors of Anniston wanted for unauthorized use of a vehicle. Gary Harden from Piedmont wanted on probation violation for fraudulent use of a credit card. Jerome Howard from Anniston wanted for a probation violation for possession and receipt of a controlled substance. And Ronald Bennett of Oxford wanted for failure to appear for third-degree theft of property. If you have any information about these cases, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. They want your information, not your name, and you could get a cash reward of up to $1,000. All right, we'll get back to the bad guys here in just a few minutes, but right now we want to welcome Valerie Shannon onto the show from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Alabama. Good to see you, Valerie.
Good to see you, Chris.
You're looking very well.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks for having me.
I know you're a big fan of mentoring organizations.
I am a big fan of mentoring organizations, but I'm a little upset that you didn't tell me I was looking good when we opened up. So I'm a little upset with that.
Well, there's a reason. We'll talk about that off camera. We'll get a consultant in and we'll discuss that. Now, Valerie, the reason that you're on here specifically, we could have you on any time for this show because of the work that Big Brothers Big Sisters is doing with the kids in this community and 5 counties in Northeast Alabama. But specifically right now, it's an important time to to let people be thinking about Big Brothers Big Sisters, because you've got one of your big fundraisers coming up here in less than 2 weeks.
That's right. Our Bowl for Kids' Sake. It's our annual event. This is our 17th year to have Bowl for Kids' Sake. It's a national event as well, and we're having it February the 26th and 27th, which is a Friday night and a Saturday, and we're inviting and asking people to come out and bowl with us.
We have in the past.
Get a team together and come out and have fun. It's just like a party-like atmosphere. We have a great time. A lot of corporations, companies come out, and it's such a good cause.
You know, we were talking about it last night here on the news set at TV 24. We had a team last year, and we're trying to figure out who's going to be playing this year for us. So we're definitely going to have a team. And I wasn't able to be part of it last year, but I'm planning to be this year. And just hearing everybody else talk about it, it's one of those things where you can tell it was a great team building event for this television station. And for any organization, you get your people out of the office doing something constructive together where they can have some fun together. You don't have the normal rules and goals and expectations for each other. You can just look at each other as people trying to help out other people and have a good time while you're doing it. And that makes everything better when you get back into the work environment.
That's right. That's right. We've had some wonderful teams that come every year. In fact, our first team back in '99 was Sheriff's Department. So they're wonderful companies that really support our mission. And for those of you who don't know our mission, we provide children facing adversity with a strong and enduring, professionally supported one-to-one relationship that changes their life for the better forever. And that's all we do is just mentoring, where we put a positive role model with a child who needs somebody extra, you know, an extra set of eyes or encouragement that can help them along the way.
Matthew, I know you see this all the time. The kids that don't have that positive influence in their life, maybe they may have the best parents in the world, but their parents, maybe it's a single parent or maybe it's two, but they're really having to work long hours for whatever reason. They're not able to give that child the attention that they need. Another mentor, somebody positive coming into their life, really makes a huge difference that you at the sheriff's office can see.
Absolutely. Nothing replaces time. There's something that none of us can buy more of. I believe that with all my heart. I do that with my children. My children are very important to me, and I spend as much time as not only talking to them about difficult things, but investing in their lives. Today, in the world of people talk about drugs and whether they should be legal or shouldn't be legal, and they say, well, there's no victim in this. I disagree. Mm-hmm. I see tons and tons of children every day whose their mother and father are hooked on drugs. They're out of the home. Grandparents who are elderly are trying to do the best they can with these kids, and it's just not working. This kind of organization needs to help try to fill the gap, but nothing replaces spending time with a child. Mm-hmm. Not just time, but positive reinforcement. Discussing, what drugs do, discussing about sexting or any other type things that all of our children face today, because they all face it.
And even if people don't like to talk, Valerie, I'm sure, about having those big discussions all the time, and that's not what you need to do all the time. Mainly, you just need to be a positive person that enjoys and shares some positive experiences.
Right, just be consistent, be somebody they can depend on, talk with. And with our programs, we have school-based mentoring and we have community-based mentoring. And school-based mentoring is the perfect for somebody who's busy, has their own children, doesn't want to give up their weekends, but during the work week, they can go to the school and spend about 30 or 40 minutes with the child and encourage them in school.
Help them with their homework or whatever.
Exactly. And we know that if we can get kids connected and get them involved in school, then they stay in school and they achieve in school. And so that mentor kind of helps bridge that little gap.
And for so many of these kids, that one-to-one, because our teachers, they've got so many kids in their classroom these days, they're pulled so many directions. When that kid sees one person looking at them, somebody is paying attention to me.
That's right.
Makes all the difference in the world.
That's right.
All right, we'll talk more about this and the fundraiser coming up here in just a few minutes. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was
Homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
but now I am
Sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wash my camo so I'm ready for hunting season.
Get that stuff out of my washer. You should take it to a laundromat.
There isn't any good laundries around here.
Sure there is. Washington Anderson Coin Laundry on Quintard, across from Walgreens and beside the Social Security office.
They have a washer that can handle a real man's jacket?
They have the biggest washers and dryers around, and you can get all your stuff finished within an hour.
Awesome. I'm headed to Washington Anderson Coin Laundry at 829 Quintard, and then I can take the rest of the day to get my other gear ready.
Or maybe you can finish the yard work.
Yeah, right after I sight my bow.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
And here's the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. David Kuhn of Anniston, wanted for failure to appear for theft of property, 3rd degree. Tamara Gibson of Oxford, wanted for failure to appear for possession of a forged instrument, 2nd degree, and passing bad checks. Nikki Cheney from Wellington, wanted for failure to appear for 1st degree theft of property. Curtis Ramsey of Anniston, wanted on probation violation for the unlawful manufacture of a controlled substance. Austin Bobo from Jacksonville, wanted for failure to appear for breaking and entering a vehicle. And Freddie Lynch from Anniston, wanted on a probation violation for felony domestic violence, 3rd degree assault. Again, if you have any information about these cases, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414. They want your information, not your name, and you could receive a cash reward of up to $1,000. All right, more crime fighting coming up. We'll have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show here in just a few minutes. And also, Matthew, I think we've got a local crazy criminal this week, don't we?
We do have a local crazy criminal happening this weekend.
And you know exactly where they are right now, don't you?
I do know exactly where they are right now.
All right. Valerie Shannon is with us from Big Brothers Big Sisters of Northeast Alabama, a great organization that puts kids together with adults that want to make a difference in somebody's life. Kids that, for whatever reason, just need that extra positive influence in their life. It doesn't necessarily have to be a kid that's headed down the wrong path. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times it's just somebody that, you know what, we're going to catch this before it becomes a problem, or we see an opportunity to be positive in this kid's life. So let's talk about what it takes to be a mentor. First off, I'm sure we have some basic guidelines that you have to fit.
Right. Well, it's a painless process, but we do have a layered background in an enrollment process. We want to make sure that our volunteers are safe people with good intentions who, number one, can commit to, and we start out with just 1 year of service. You know, it's not a lifetime commitment, but a lot of our matches are lifetime because they become so close. They're just like brothers and sisters or family.
You know, I just had, just a couple of weeks ago, I had a young man came up to me, said, "Hey, do you remember me?" Like, yes, I do. And he was, when I first got involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters, probably 15 or so years ago, it may be more than that, I don't know. He was the little brother of one of the board members with us. And they actually did stay matched for several years, and still to this day, I mean, he's in his 30s now. And he's talking about his big brother as if he was his father.
Yes, I know. We see it every day, but we, you know, we always want good volunteers, people who have the time and can commit, and we support the matches. You know, we want them to be successful, and we want them to be long and enduring, and we. You know, ask for references and just do an interview process, and that lets us know a little bit about the volunteer, their experiences, what their preferences are, and then we match according to those preferences. If they're an outdoor guy or indoor guy, you know, if they like to do videos or hunt or fish, you know, we kind of match according to those preferences, and that way it's a win-win thing. You know, they can connect and they can have fun together, and it's really just a friendship and having fun together.
And lots of positive things that you can do. Matthew, I'm sure you'd be taking somebody out hunting as often as you could.
You know, and I do some of that. I take a kid in my neighborhood to church every week. He takes on Saturday night church. Yes. So I pick him up, take him to church. He stays at my house, and he comes in and he gets what he wants. And you know, I mean, you know, he has a father, but I like to think that I do have a positive impact on his life. So.
I'm a big believer that our kids, regardless of the home situation, need as many positive influences as they can. I coached Little League soccer for years, several years, and I did a little bit with my first son, my stepson, when he was playing, but then I stepped back. I said, you know what, let's let somebody else coach my kids. I want my kids to have that one extra authority figure in their life that's going to be a positive influence, and a coach is a great example of that. So whether you volunteer to be a big with Big Brothers Big Sisters or not, there are plenty of opportunities out there to be a mentor, but this is a great organization that can say, okay, here's somebody who wants to do well, we're going to support them, match them up with somebody that can really benefit and give them all the help they need.
Yeah, and one thing about being involved with our agency is that you are insured. You know, you have that, we have your back. You know, we encourage you, you know, if there's any problems with the match or the parent or anything like that, we're here to kind of cover over and fix those issues. You know, whether sometimes our littles, their parents never have a working number or whatever those issues are, we're here, you know, to help because we have professional case managers, you know, and so we make sure that everything's safe and that it's going well, and it helps the longevity of it. And so it gives that volunteer that assurance.
All right, we've got just a minute left. Real quick, let's get back to the fundraiser that's going to be happening, because even aside from the fundraising, it's a great opportunity for people to get to know a little bit about the organization if they come out and bowl. Bowl for Kids' Sake is going to be the 26th and 27th of February in Rainbow City there at the Paradise Lanes. And so we've got Friday night and Saturday daytime hours for teams to bowl.
Friday night is at 5, the first bowl is at 5:30, and then the second bowl is at 7:30. And then Saturday it's 1 to 3. And we've got a lot of great door prizes, and this year we're doing a Star Wars theme, so I mean, we're encouraging people to dress up in their Star Wars get up if they want to, and we've got a lot of fun things planned. So I guarantee that you'll have a great time.
And it's not too late to put a team together.
It's not. It's not.
All right. So can we find out more information?
You can go, certainly call us, 256-546-5079. And then we have a website, bbbsneal.org.
That's Big Brothers Big Sisters, Northeast Alabama.
Exactly.
All right. .org.
.org.
Right, so go find out about it on the website, give them a call, and put your team together. When's the last time you went bowling? I bet you had fun when you did it. Let's go do it again and do it for a good cause. Thank you, Valerie.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with the Crime Stoppers segment and our crazy criminal of the week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was.
homeless,
Broken. Sad.
Just lost.
but now I am
Sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole,
Can you define it?
a long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
AOD Federal Credit Union. You already know their friendly staff and great loan products. So here's reason number 8 to choose AOD FCU, a new all-platinum Visa credit card. Call 1-800-637-0299 or visit AODFCU.com to start earning 1% cash back on purchases. Your good credit earns you a better rate. A new Platinum Visa card. Another reason you belong at AOD Federal Credit Union.
And now on to the Crime Stoppers segment of the show. It's a short segment this week. We've only got one crime to talk to you about. On February 11th, a residence on Twin Oak Drive was burglarized. A jewelry box with UA on top of it was stolen, along with some money. Just because we only have one crime in the segment doesn't mean that's the only crime that was committed over the last week. If you have information about this or any unsolved case, please call Calhoun County Crime Stoppers at 256-238-1414.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
If you were watching TV 24 Primetime News last night, you may have already heard this story, but for those of you who didn't see it, we've got a crazy criminal, Matthew, that happened right here in Calhoun County.
Okay, we have a deputy. He's traveling down 431. He sees a car that has no tag, so he pulls it over. That car pulls over, and a car comes by and pulls over in front of it. So the deputy gets out, and he's dealing with the car he's pulled over, and the occupant of that car gets out, starts rolling back, and at any time, don't do that. That makes officers very nervous. Just sit in your car. Mm-hmm. So they ask him to get back in his car, and he gets back in his car, and they deal with this person here for not having a tag. They had their paperwork, everything was good. So he told him he got done with them. He walks up to the car that pulled over to see what they wanted. The guy cracks his window about this much, and just the smell of marijuana is boiling out of the car. So they ask him to get out of the car. He has cocaine, marijuana. He wants to fight with them. They had to restrain him using a taser. It just wasn't a good thing. But what makes it crazy is they never stopped him. He stopped on his own.
He just pulls over right in front
and says, "Hey," I guess he said, "Hey, I want to go to jail." I don't know. I'm not sure what his thought process was, but all he had to do was keep going because he wasn't the car we stopped. So sometimes you talk yourself into jail. So he is now at the county jail.
Well, congratulations and thank you for turning yourself in. Anybody that is in the lineup this week, we welcome you to do the same thing. Just go ahead and turn yourself in, and actually, honestly, that's a good move a lot of the time.
It is a good move.
All right. That's all the time that we have for this week. We thank you for yours, and we'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.